When he was 19 years old, Dele Alli was football's greatest wonder kid. Today, he is all but forgotten. From winning the PFA Young Player of the Year award in consecutive seasons and becoming the most expensively valued midfielder in the world, to a failed loan in Turkey and even a drug scandal. I have spent days researching just what happened to such a promising young player. In doing so, I have learned the heartbreaking tale of just how the pressures that modern footballers face can destroy their love for the game. But I also found reason to be hopeful that one day the old Dele may just return. Before we examine his downfall, we must take it back to the very start to see what made Dele such a special player in the first place. Dele was born in Milton Keynes in 1996. His talent was apparent from early on, as he earned himself a place in the MK Dons youth setup at the age of 11. After 5 years of working hard at youth level, Dele's hard work was about to pay off. Alli made his official first team debut as a 16-year-old in the FA Cup. The management team at MK Dons clearly saw the level of talent that they had on their hands, as, over the following 2.5 years, the teenage Alli racked up 88 first team games, scoring 24 goals. As is the case in modern football, a player at a smaller club putting up such great numbers is always going to attract interest. The Premier League clubs were circling Dele like vultures. In the dying embers of the 2015 winter window, Tottenham Hotspur paid MK Dons £5 million to secure the signing of an 18-year-old sensation. At this point in time, Tottenham were being coached by a man called Mauricio Pochettino. Poch, as he became affectionately known by the Spurs fans, was known for his preference to play energetic and youthful players. Dele was just a player Poch wanted, but he was just a little bit too young and raw for the first team. So he was loaned back to MK Dons to finish the season. MK Dons were promoted and Dele was awarded the Young Player of the Year at the Football League Awards. Spurs fans were brimming with excitement at the prospect of Dele playing for the Lily Whites. But even the most optimistic of fans surely couldn't predict just how great the next few years of him would be. In the 2015-16 season, paired alongside fellow young talented players in Harry Kane and Christian Eriksen, Dele announced himself to all Premier League fans. From a man of the match performance in his North London derby debut to scoring one of the all-time great Premier League goals versus Crystal Palace, Dele was all the talk of the town. He scored 10 goals and bagged 8 assists in 33 games on his way to being named PFA Young Player of the Year. However, in his first season, we start to see the first signs of a red flag appear. In the final weeks of the season, Dele was forced to watch the game from the sidelines as he was given a 3-game suspension for punching West Brom midfielder Claudio Jacob in the stomach. He later apologised for the incident on Twitter, stating, "Gutted that my season is over. Shouldn't have reacted like I did. We'll learn from this and come back even stronger." Despite his suspension, Dele came into the 2016-17 season on fire. He picked up 34 goal involvements across 50 games in all competitions as Spurs finished second and reached the FA Cup semi-finals. This was enough for him to bag a second PFA Young Player award. At 21, Dele had the world at his feet, and everyone was waiting for him to explode into the star everyone knew he could be. Little did we know, we had just seen the peak of Dele's powers. The 17-18 season was another solid return for Dele. His 50 starts across all competition willed in return of 30 goal involvements. A slight decrease on the previous season, but surely nothing to worry about, right? The 18-19 season is where the wheels began to fall off for Alli. Injuries had begun to creep into his game as he only managed 25 league appearances with 8 goal involvements. A silver lining for Alli and Spurs that season was an unlikely run to the club's first ever Champions League final. Spurs conceded to a Salah penalty within 2 minutes and were never able to come back from the rough start, ultimately losing 2-0. Over the next few months, Alli was consistently injured and Spurs were losing their way. In November, the popular Mauricio Pochettino, who had helped shape so much of Alli's career so far, was fired by Spurs. He was replaced by Jose Mourinho, and it was evident from the very start the two did not get along. I think the downfall of Alli's time at Spurs can be best summarised by this comment left by a Spurs fan. "While our midfield has evaporated, Spurs have asked Dele to do everything under the sun besides what he's good at, not fill the necessary gaps, and just asked him to adapt." Through injuries and dwindling minutes, he still has managed the most goal contributions of our midfielders since 18-19. His peak form was never sustainable by anyone that played in his position, so unrealistic expectations have led to a seemingly steep decline. His ability and talent was way too far ahead of his maturity, and neither Dele nor Spurs knew how to handle that which added extra issues. It's clear that Alli's time at Spurs was over. In January 2022, Spurs allowed him to move for free to Everton. Between 2022 and 2024, Alli made 13 Premier League appearances for Everton, failing to score. He was sent out on loan to Turkish club Besiktas. The move was seen as a way to revive his career, away from the high pressure and constant media attention in England. However, the move quickly became a nightmare. Besiktas' manager described Alli as below expectations in terms of efficiency, and after February, he never played for Besiktas again, finishing his time with just 2 goals in 13 matches. During a period of time when he was out with injury, Dele poured gasoline and lit a match on his own reputation when he was photographed partying, drinking and inhaling balloons. Dele was released by Everton in 2024, but the club have continued to allow him to use their facilities as he aims to come back stronger from injury. In July 2023, Alli sat down with Gary Neville and gave an honest and open interview where he spoke of his struggles with mental health and addiction, and even spoke about being sexually abused. This allowed fans to see his downfall in a more sympathetic light. Dele spoke about the positivity about his future, revealing that he had daily reminders on his phone for the 2026 World Cup, with the hopes of making the squad. With less than 2 years before the World Cup, it's unlikely that Dele makes it. However, we can only hope that he uses his newfound drive and access to Everton's facilities to really reignite his passion for football and to find his feet again. More than anything, we just hope that he's able to find happiness and peace in his life. Dele will undoubtedly go down as one of football's biggest what-if stories. If you would like to see a video about another footballing wonder kid who lost his way in the harsh landscape of the modern footballing game, click the video on your screens now. Thank you.